And welcome back, RFCLA fans, to the unofficial RFCLA podcast, Notes from the Clubhouse, episode number 5. I am your host, as always. My name is Joshua Shibata, and thank you very much for joining us here on the podcast. Again, the unofficial podcast for the only pro LA rugby team, the RFCLA, Rugby Football Club LA. Lots of things to talk about. There's a lot of excitement in the air. If you haven't heard, LA, we are on a hot streak. We are 4 wins straight. First time in franchise history, coming off of 4 big wins. Let's get straight into it as we talk about our win and recap. The game in Houston, defeating the Houston SaberCats 24-22. It was a nail biter of a game, but an exciting game to say the least. LA doing what they do best, scoring tries very quickly. A very good offensive battle, as well as a very good defensive battle too. But there were a couple of factors that led to this win. One of them, we'll have to admit that unfortunately for Houston, their top player, Dave Coutier, went out of the game very early on, had to be replaced by Lealiifano. Davy Coutier has been clutch, is one of the top point scorers, not only in the Houston SaberCats team, but in the entire league. Definitely, you have to say, was a big factor leading into the win in Houston. But you can't take away the win from the boys as well. Again, scoring tries, you have to do that on your own somehow. And LA did do that. Also defensive as well, keeping things away. But what also really helped in this game, the very first time, at least in this season, I believe possibly in franchise history, there were no cards given to LA. I mean, we are still the most penalized team card-wise in the entire league by far. 18 cards. 18 cards have been given to us in the 2025 season. 3 of them red, 18 yellow, by far the most of any kind of cards in the league. Second place is Chicago, and I forgot who the other team tied with them. They only have 9, so we have twice as many as the second place teams. So definitely a good step forward in the right direction, having no cards whatsoever. But definitely have showed how much the lack of discipline has hindered LA and possibly contributed to the 0-3 start to begin with. But no cards in the game made a big difference. Took away the penalty kicking ability of Lealiifano. But again, the big factor here was at the very end, LA did give up a try within the closing minutes of the game. Houston only down by 2. If Lealiifano was able to make the conversion kick, the game would have ended in a tie, because there are ties in rugby. But Lealiifano, who was only 1 for 3 off of the tee that game, missed the conversion kick. 1 for 4. Who's to say if it would have been different and David Coutier, who's been pretty clutch this whole season kicking wise, would have made the difference? Either way, LA walks away with a very hard-fought earned win to have 4 wins in a row. First time, like I said, in franchise history, 4 wins in a row. Now we are going for win number 5 as we go over to Utah. Fortunately, being played here at home at the Wallace Annenberg Stadium on the campus of UCLA. But before we get to that, just want to remind you, LA fans, even if you're not able to go to the games, especially when the games are away, Tower 12 is the official watch party place for our watch party, for our viewing of the games. And if you haven't been there before, it is great. Tower 12 on Hermosa Pier. Great staff, wonderful people, good food, good drinks, good atmosphere. Great place to watch RFCLA games. It is the official location for the watch party for all of our away games. We'll have all of the reserve players who weren't able to make the trip. We'll be there. You can talk to them, hang out with them. They're always gracious with their time. And you might be able to witness a little trivia challenge involving some hot, spicy wings. Check out the video here and see what you might have missed at the last watch party. Alright, so once again, I have another trivia contest between squad mates here at RFCLA at the wonderful Tower 12 in Hermosa Beach. I got Dane Zander and I got Lealiifano. They're going to prove that which one of them is smarter than the other. We chose a couple of categories. They each chose categories that they felt that they were confident in more so than their opponent. Also, I'll be throwing in some questions that I feel that they, as rugby players, should know the answers to. Now, here's the catch. If the person who answers correctly, the opposite person who did not answer correctly, has to take a bite out of a chicken wing. Now there's 5 chicken wings here. 2 of them are spicy, 3 of them are normal. So it's a little bit of a little Russian roulette to see if their luck is good. All you guys gotta do is just be nice to you guys, you just gotta take a bite. You don't have to finish the whole thing unless you want to.
Nah.
Unless you're hungry. Nah. The loser, the ultimate loser, whoever gets 3 out of the 5 win, the loser has to eat or at least take a bite of the hottest, spiciest chicken wing.
Just a bite.
Yeah.
Alright, so the way it's going to work, I'm going to ask a question. Whoever knows the answer, say your name. Whoever says it first gets a chance to answer. The other person gets a chance to answer as well if they're wrong. Whoever answers it right is the winner. The other person has to eat the chicken wing. If nobody gets it right, then we just move on to the next question.
Right.
Cool? Alright, so let's go first with a category that Dane Zander said he knew more of, cars. Alright, so Porsche is an automobile manufacturing company based in what country?
Christian.
Italy. I'm sorry?
Italy.
No, that's not right, Christian.
What is it? What is the thing?
Now,
the UK.
I'm sorry?
The UK.
No, that's not right either. Porsche is based in Germany. Germany. Alright.
I was thinking Ferrari.
Still cars, okay? The movie Back to the Future. What was the iconic flying car? What was the model?
Back to the Future.
It's the silver one.
Yes. What was it?
Oh, right.
I don't know. Way.
You know that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it's
You know the answer? Say your name.
Honda Civic. Oh.
I know it's.
I don't know the answer.
Cadillac.
Movies and cars.
No,
Yes.
Cadillac? No, it's not a Cadillac.
Do you know, Christian?
Nah.
Nope. The answer is a DeLorean.
Oh.
That is no longer made because the DeLorean apparently was a really,
Wow.
really bad car.
Wow.
Alright.
You know movies
that
and
was
cars.
the cars.
Go to my
Let's go
cat.
to the next
Go to my
category,
cat.
which is
Get up.
sports.
Yo.
This is one that Christian
Yo.
he knew more than Dane. Sports. Okay. Now, according to Forbes, what sport franchise is worth the most in the entire world?
Dane.
Oh.
It's a team. The Dallas Cowboys.
That's correct. The Dallas Cowboys is the world awards for $10.1 billion.
Wow. That was Cowboys.
Yeah.
You gotta take a bite out of
I'll
one
choose
of the ones. Choose one.
Yeah, they had that one.
There's one here, I reckon.
And let's see if it's a spicy one. And is it spicy?
Oh,
no, we're safe. Alright.
Set.
Oh, man. A little bit, though.
Sit. The nerves.
Great get. I was going to go New York Yankees.
We're going to move on now to a question that they knew more than Christian.
Yep.
The UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Okay. Who was the very first UFC Women's Champion?
Christian.
I know this.
Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey is the answer. Ronda Rousey was the very first Women's UFC Champion in 2012.
2012.
Dave, you got to take a chicken wing. Here you go.
Spicy or what?
Big bite right there. Was that a spicy one?
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Out of 7?
Ooh.
Okay, all right.
Out of 7,
So
huh?
Dane can take spice.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm not scared like him.
All right, we are tied 1-1, and whoever gets 2-3 first wins. Moving on now to a category that Christian says he knew more of, and that is country. Now,
I don't know
what country has the biggest population? What country on the planet
Dane.
has the biggest population?
China?
No, actually it is not China.
Christian,
Yes.
I'll say India.
India's
Oh.
right. India actually has 1.46
I gotta go
billion
again?
population. China has 1.41 billion population.
Oh, yeah, choose the one that I've already had there. You know, it's not spicy. That's a nice one, that one.
All right.
No, that one's sweet.
That's sweet.
I've cracked the
All right,
code,
we got
yeah.
a safe one there. So the score is 2-1. Christian number
Yeah.
2, Dane number 1. If Christian gets one more, Dane, you gotta eat the hot and spiciest one.
Come on.
So let's do this. Let's make it a little fair. We're going back to a category that Dane said he knew more of, and that is movies.
Yeah. Mate.
In the movie, The Matrix, what was Lawrence Fishburne's character's name?
Lawrence
Fishburne was in the movie The Matrix.
I haven't seen The Matrix.
Okay,
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Hey,
Lawrence Fishburne?
Yes, Lawrence
That's his
Fishburne.
name.
What
Oh,
was his
yeah.
character's name?
It's either old dark guy, eh? Is that him?
Have you seen The Matrix?
Oh, a long time ago. There's obviously Keanu Reeves.
Yes,
He's.
it is.
Oh,
If not, we can move on to the next question.
We'll move on. I reckon skip this one.
I know what they're about. Yeah, we'll move on.
We'll move on.
Move on.
The answer is Morpheus.
Oh, Morpheus.
Morpheus.
Ah,
All right, let's go to this one. What is the name of the actor that plays the character Wolverine?
Christian, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman is right! And that means, Dane, you have to take another bite out of a chicken wing.
And the hot
Unfortunately, Dane, you also are the ultimate loser.
You gotta get one here
Well,
first,
you gotta
and then-
take one of those as well. So you gotta do double.
Harder.
So, Dane's gonna take the one.
Yeah. It's pretty hot, eh?
And then, because Christian is our winner,
Oh.
3-1.
Oh, you take spice
Yeah.
alright,
Is it not here yet?
No, that one's good. Now this one.
Now, this is a spicy one. The spiciest one here at the restaurant. Good luck, Dane.
That's it, man. Great bite, Dane. The spiciest one. That's the most spice.
Ready to take the jumper off, mate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are we crying, Dane? Are you okay?
I think he's crying,
You
yeah.
okay, buddy?
Right. Also on my eye.
Oh,
There we
you
go.
Well, hey,
That one's pretty hot.
Is it pretty
Yeah.
hot?
Yeah.
How much hotter than the other one?
You said that one was a 7. What was that one?
That's probably like a 9.
9.
Yeah.
Your eyes are watering up, bro.
Ooh, pretty hot.
He said, I love spice. I love spice. And look at him.
All right. Well, hey, I want to thank Christian and I want to thank Dane very much for their time here at RFCLA, our trivia contest. And thank you, brothers, for very much for having us.
Awesome,
Let's
man.
go RFCLA.
Let's go
RFCLA.
Let's go.
Now, I want to thank, of course, DZ, Dane Zander, and Christian Lealiifano for giving me their time and being willing to put their taste buds on the line with the trivia contest. DZ was fine. He was coughing quite a bit afterwards, but a couple of pints after that, he was pretty good and actually wanted to go for a second round. So we'll see if we'll have another round of Hot Wing Trivia Challenge with DZ and maybe a different RFCLA opponent. Now, let's talk about the next game tomorrow. As we are recording this, tomorrow, Saturday, April 12th, we will be back at Wallace Annenberg Stadium on the campus of UCLA to take on the Utah Warriors. As you see right there, Utah Warriors record so far this season, 4-2. 21 points. They are right below us, 2 points back in the standings. They are sitting 4th. We are sitting 3rd with RFCLA. And it is going to be a dog race on the Western Conference. Only 4 playoff spots available. 5 teams are fighting for it. So you don't want to be that last place team, which right now is Seattle. So a win here would be huge for RFCLA because it keeps us not only away from Seattle, but also tries to separate us from Utah, secures us into the playoffs, and hopefully maybe pushing us into the top 2. So at least we get a home pitch advantage for at least one of the playoff games. As you see as well, all-time results, we have not lost a game to Utah. Last season, we won 2-0, but it is a different Utah squad. And fortunately, I had the chance to talk to 2 of the younger RFCLA players, Tas Smith and Matias Jensen, in order to pick their brain and go over a little strategy of what to expect when we host the Utah Warriors. Let's talk about now what's coming up tomorrow at Wallace Annenberg Stadium, 7 p.m. kickoff time. We are hosting the Utah Warriors, a very tough physical team. Let's talk with you, Matias, first. Utah, again, Western, I don't think there's any easy games in the Western Conference. All the teams are very physical. Is there, you don't have to reveal too much, but what is the strategy going into this game with Utah?
So this weekend, obviously, as you said, physical team. I haven't played them before. Taz would know more about how they play, and obviously they've probably changed a little bit this year as well. But we know that unlike Houston, they're probably going to run the ball a lot more, or play a bit more footy. We know that their kicking game's quite strong as well, so they're going to put pressure on us in that way. So I guess our back three need to be on, and in the midfield we'll try and support them. And then obviously, once again, it comes down to defence as well. We've just got to hold them out and keep our discipline down.
There you go. Now, Taz, I don't know if this is a thing or not, but Joel Hodgson, as Matias mentioned, the kicking game in Utah is really good. Joel Hodgson on the other side of the ball from you. Do you guys focus on the person in the other position across the board, or do you guys just focus on your game plan and don't worry about what the other side is doing?
No, absolutely. We're playing a really exciting brand of footy this year with running from everywhere, but I think with that comes you have to focus a lot on their kicking game and their playmakers. And Joel Hodgson, he's been in the league I think a couple of years now. He's really experienced, really good kicker, game manager. We had a bit of a tough time against him last year when we played in Utah at the end of the year. We ended up getting the win, but he was pretty instrumental in their side. So I think this year, like MJ said, if we can win the aerial battle, then that'll definitely take a certain aspect out of his game, out of it. Other than that, I think it's just focusing on our game and, backing the way we play, backing that we can run from anywhere, and playing some exciting footy.
Perfect. Now, from the both of you, are there any players that you guys are particularly focusing on or looking out for other than AJ? I know, Joe Mano's having a really great season. Is there anybody, I know Matias maybe not too familiar too much with the side in Utah, but anybody that sticks out for either one of you guys are kind of watching out for?
Yeah, I think for me, a guy I'm keen to go up against is Jordan Trainer.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah, he was at the Guillotinis. I reckon he's the exact, he's not as good as Rory Van Boot, but they're very similar players, Kiwi boys, so I'm keen to see how those boys go. But keen to play against Jordan. And then, like you said, Joel. I think the rest of them, they're a pretty new squad, so it should be interesting. I don't know about you and the centres with a couple of those boys.
The 12?
Good new 12 Kiwi lad. I can't remember his name, but
big inside centre. I forgot his name. But we're reviewing him in our backs meetings and stuff, and we know that he's going to be a really strong ball carrier. So got to get on top of that early and try and lock him down.
Yeah, and then Paulie Lasike coming off the bench is always a big unit. So I've had to tackle him a few times from 9 when he runs straight at you. But big boy. So that'll be tough for the lads.
What, 6'5", 6'4"?
He's a big boy. Thick unit too.
Oh.
Great guy though.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, so again, rugby fans, don't forget that game is tomorrow, Saturday, at the Wallace Annenberg Stadium, 7 p.m. kickoff time. Tickets are kind of running out. General admission almost sold out. For you boys, I know maybe, Taz, you have a little bit, if you remember from last season with us playing at the Dignity Sports Park, and now how the crowd has really grown the last couple of games. How big is it for you boys to be playing in front of a huge, loud, supportive crowd at the Wallace Annenberg Stadium?
It's huge, especially in a tight stadium like that, like Wallace Annenberg, where it's quite intimate. The fans are right there on the sideline screaming, and so when you can hear that on the field, it just gives you that spike that you need, to make just to keep going and keep fighting, I guess. Yeah,
and I think it's definitely a greater sense of community this year. Like at the massive stadium at Dignity Health, it was you couldn't really interact with the fans as much. But this year, every game you see people you've seen at games before, you know them by name, they know you by name. You're with all the kids and stuff. They're getting a lot more kids out there. There's people at the restaurants and stuff that we go to that you see down in the Riviera at Redondo and then at the game. So it's definitely a greater sense of community, which definitely fuels the boys for sure.
And as you saw in that video, yes, the boys love when we have the fans coming out. We have been packing the Wallace Annenberg Stadium for the last couple of games. Right now, there are still tickets available. And again, if you want to go to the game, and why wouldn't you want to go, great rugby action. It is Family Day that we're going to be celebrating tomorrow as well. So from what I understand, the first 500 kids that show up for the game will get a free giveaway prize. Also, too, I believe the first 50, 12 and under kids will also get another surprise giveaway. We'll be giving merchandise throughout the entire event. There'll be face painting. There'll be carnival games. There'll also be skill games as well, like passing the rugby ball. I believe we'll be doing a kicking game as well. So a lot of great opportunities for the kids who may be, starting their rugby experience or, might be interested in trying their hand at rugby. It's always great to start them young. That's how we build the sport of rugby in a place like America. Start them at little kid level, watch them grow up through the high school, college, and then hopefully they'll be future RFCLA players on the pitch. But come on out. Tickets they're running out from what I understand, general admission. So definitely get on it. www.rugbyfcla.com for ticket information. But there are still some tickets available. Come out, bring the family. Again, it's Family Day. Why wouldn't you, as we host the Utah Warriors? And again, I want to thank Tas Smith and Matias Jensen for their time and really, talking a lot and dissecting what to expect from this Utah squad. I'm going to bring up the roster right here. It is, as Tas said, kind of a newer team. So even though we have beaten the Warriors twice last season, this is a different Warriors team coming in to the Annenberg Stadium. Though, of course, the ones that you have to look out for are the stalwarts of Utah. Joel Hodgson, the number 10, has been having a phenomenal season so far. One of the top point scorers in the entire league. Joey Mano, the winger at number 11, as I mentioned before, does lead the league right now with 5 tries. He's tied with a couple of other people as well, but he is up there. And then also, too, Nick Ben, the number 14, has 4 tries himself. And Jordan Trainer, as Tas mentioned, former LA Guillotini. He's been having a phenomenal year this season coming back from Major League Rugby. He took a year off to play in his native country of New Zealand. Now has given it a shot again here in the States with the Utah Warriors. Has had a great first half of 2025. So he is definitely a guy to look out for. To be honest, Jordan and Joel, and then, of course, the number 12, D'Angelo Luila. He is another guy who has just is his first year in Major League Rugby, a South African player, I believe. A Samoan player. He has just been amazing with his footy skills. As Matias was mentioning, probably going to be doing a lot more of kicking, running with the ball, passing the ball with some nice little kick passes. D'Angelo Luila has an accurate foot, not only for kicking conversions, but passing the ball with his foot. Jordan Trainer likewise as well. So really, Utah has an exciting rugby style, very similar to RFCLA's, where they're very aggressive, love moving the ball, shifting it from one side of the pitch to the other, and just finding that open man and that open space in order to score a try. So you just got to watch out for D'Angelo, Jordan. As mentioned before, Kyle Brown, new to the team as well, a New Zealander, heavy runner. You have a really impressive offensive back end for Utah, something that LA, I don't feel will back down from, but they'll definitely have to make sure, again, just like the strategies with Houston, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be disciplined. They cannot give up easy penalties because D'Angelo Luila is clutch off of the tee, and if he's not kicking, Joel Hodgson will do the favors. He's been very clutch as well. And again, if they leave any opens and any gaps defensive-wise, you'll have Jordan, you'll have Nick, Kyle Brown, they'll run in for the score, Joe Mono. And then again, Paul Asike coming off of the bench, Cap Eagle, huge guy to come off of the reserves. Definitely, the Warriors are not going to be a pushover team. But like I mentioned before, in the Western Conference, even the lack in Seattle right now, where you're only one of 2 teams that have 2 MLR championship shields under their belt, you still have Utah, Houston, San Diego, all those teams. It makes a very tough Western Conference. So there is no easy games here in the Western Conference, and this one won't be either. But here's your starting lineup or your starting 15 and your reserves for this game with Utah. Again, it's an interesting lineup. A lot of people coming back into the lineup. You have Tim Anstey and Ed Timpson coming back, the youngsters who have been very, very impressive at the 5 and 6 position. You have the first time starting Franco Vandenberg, recent pickup in the beginning of the season, actually a former Utah Warrior himself. So he'll actually be playing against his former team. This is his first time starting, as well as the return at the number 1 position prop, Declan Laney. Ben Sugars, the hooker, also returning to number 2. We also have the return of Christian Lealiifano, who's just coming off of a rest week. So it'd be great to see his abilities. He's always clutch as well. And then Rory Van Voot moving from usually his position at 15 fullback to replace an injured Christian Dyer, who unfortunately is suffering what might be a pretty severe injury. I had a chance to talk to him at the watch party. I'm not going to divulge too much information just yet, but Rory Van Voot moving into that 14 spot. But that does open, you see his face right there, Reese McDonald. I didn't mention it when I was talking about the Houston game, but man, when Reese comes onto the pitch, the game changes dramatically. So now this is his first time starting for RFCLA after coming into the season just a couple of weeks ago, recovering from shoulder surgery. He has just been phenomenal, and I can't wait to see him at the start at the 15. Definitely boosts not only offensive-wise, but defensive-wise as well. Heads-up playmaker, accurate leg. I mean, that's huge. But then again, looking at the bench, we still have some amazing players that can come off of the bench. You still have Matt Heaton who can come off, Tas Smith, who I had that wonderful interview with, Will Leonard, who is just always energetic coming off of the bench. And then number 22, this is really exciting as well. Robert Mappa might get his very first MLR cap in his young career. He is a young American born, though spent most of his time playing and being raised in Australia playing rugby. He has been waiting to play. I've been talking to him at watch parties and on the pitch before games. He is super excited. I'm super excited for him. Hopefully he'll be able to see the pitch for his very first cap, but he is definitely a guy to keep an eye out for on the future of RFCLA. But that is our starting 15 with our reserves as well. Again, guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets, highly recommend www.rugbyfcla.com. Why wouldn't you? It's family day. It's going to be an exciting game. Kickoff is 7 p.m. It's a little late, but the weather's going to be nice. It should actually be a warm night. So bring a sweater just in case, but it might be pretty warm. I know the action on the pitch is definitely going to be hot. It will be an exciting game. And again, going for win number 5 in a row, RFCLA using all that momentum. And definitely, I feel the boys are going to go all out for this game because next week is a bye for us. So no reason to leave anything on the pitch. So yeah. So again, thank you very much as always for checking out the Notes from the Clubhouse, the unofficial RFCLA podcast. I always appreciate the support. Also check out my YouTube channel, Rugby411, for all the other information and content, not only just covering RFCLA, but MLR and WER as well, Women's Elite Rugby, the only women's pro rugby league in the United States. But again, thank you very much for checking out my videos, and I'll see you RFCLA fans on the pitch.